In a decisive and dramatic intervention aimed at halting the escalation border war between Thailand and Cambodia, United States President Donald Trump announced that he has secured an agreement from the leaders of both nations to meet for direct negotiations. The announcement delivered from the Oval Office represents a major American diplomatic push to prevent a wider regional conflict and directly counters a recent offer of mediation from Russian President Vladimir Putin. President Trump stated that he has spoken personally with the leadership in both Bangkok and Phnom Penh, conveying the urgent need to end the violence that has claimed dozens of lives and displaced thousands of civilians. This move by the White House firmly placed the United States at the center of peace process, leveraging its influence in the regions to bring the warring parties to the negotiating table. The president expressed his confidence that a peaceful resolution can be found, emphasizing that the meeting would be held under the auspices of the United States to ensure a fair and productive dialogue. This development fundamentally alters the diplomatic landscapes of the crisis, shifting the focus from regional bodies and competing offers of mediation to a high-tech, American-led initiative. The White House is reportedly planning for the summit to take place at Camp David, the historic presidential retreat in Maryland that has been the setting for numerous landmark peace negotiations in the past. The choice of venue is highly symbolic, intended to signal the gravity with which the Trump administration views the conflict and its commitment to achieving a breakthrough. Details of the meeting are being coordinated by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who has been in continuous contact with his counterparts in both the Thai and Cambodian governments. Secretary Rubio's department is tasked with arranging the complex logistic and setting the agenda for the talks, which will initially focus on securing a durable ceasefire and establishing a military de-escalation mechanism along the dispute border. Meanwhile, Secretary of Defense Peter Hegseth has been providing the president with detailed intelligence assessment of the military situations on the ground. These briefings, compiled from various intelligence sources, have reportedly highlighted the increasingly risk of miscalculations or and accidental escalations that could draw the two nations into a full-scale, protracted war with devastating humanitarian and economic consequences for Southeast Asia. A coordinated effort between the State Department and the Pentagon underscores a whole-of-government approach by the Trump administration, aiming to use both diplomatic pressure and the reality of the military situation to push both sides toward a settlement. President Trump's direct intervention is widely seen by international observers as a strategic move to reassert American leadership in Southeast Asia and to pointedly sideline Russia's attempt to play the role of a great power mediator. Following President Putin's offer to host peace talks, there were concerns in Washington that Russia was attempting to exploit the conflict to expand its influence in a region of critical strategic importance to the United States. By securing the agreement for a meeting himself, President Trump has effectively challenged the Russian initiative, signaling to allies and adversaries alike that the United States remains the preeminent diplomatic force in the Asia-Pacific. The move also served to address the growing influence of China, which is Cambodia's closest ally and primary benefactor. The Trump administration has been wary of Beijing's expanding economic and military footprint in the region. By stepping in as the key mediator, the United States aims to provide Cambodia with a diplomatic alternative to complete reliance on China, while simultaneously reassuring Thailand, a long-standing treaty ally, of America's unwavering support. The administration of President Trump, including key figures like Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard and CIA Director John Ratcliffe, would have provided comprehensive briefing outlining the geopolitical risk of allowing either Russia or China to dictate the terms of a settlement in the Thailand-Cambodia conflict. The reactions from Thailand and Cambodia have been cautiously positive, reflecting the immense diplomatic weight that a direct president invitation from the United States carries. The Thai government, in a formal statement, welcomed President Trump's initiative and expressed its readiness to participate in talks aimed at achieving a peaceful resolution. For Thailand, a U.S.-led mediation process is preferable to one managed by ASEAN, where it would have to contend with the varying interests of its regional neighbors. It also provides a welcome alternative to mediation offers from Russia or China, allowing Bangkok to work with its traditional security partner. The Cambodian government also issued a statement confirming its leader agreement to attend the talk. While Cambodia maintained very close ties with China, its acceptance of the American offer is a strategic move to demonstrate its independence on the world stage and to avoid international isolation. It allows Phnom Penh to engage directly with the United States and presents an opportunity to have its security concerns and historical claim heard in a high-profile international forum. The decision to accept the American invitation provides both governments with a critical political off-ramp, allowing them to step back from the brink of a larger war without being seen by their domestic population as having proceeded to the other side. Instead, they can frame their participation as a responsible action taken at the behest of a global superpower. The path forward, however, is filled with significant challenges. The core of the dispute involves deeply entrenched historical grievance and competing nationalist claims over territory that are not easily resolved. The border itself, a legacy of French colonial map-making, has been contested for generations, and previous attempts at demarcations have failed. The most contentious area, particularly the land surrounding ancient temples like Previhir, are imbued with immense cultural and national pride, making any compromise politically perilous for the leaders of both countries. The success of the talks brokered by President Trump will depend on the ability of American diplomats, led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, to navigate these complex sensitivities. The United States will need to facilitate a process that not only stops the immediate fighting but also create a framework for long-term management of the border dispute. This could involve proposals for joint development zones, international observer missions, and a renewed commitment to resolving claims through legal and diplomatic channels rather than military force. The entire world will now be watching to see if this bold move of personal presidential diplomacy can succeed in bringing peace to a volatile and historically troubled border. The outcome of the meeting at Camp David will have profound implications not only for Thailand and Cambodia, but also for the broader balance of power in Southeast Asia and the competition for influence among the United States, China, and Russia. Many of my listeners, like 70%, have subscribed to my YouTube channel, and so many of you don't even know that you haven't subscribed. That is actually what makes the show going. It's almost like you're making a donation to the show. So that's why I ask again and again, because it enables us to grow and grow and grow. And we're going for the long haul here. And listen, if this is your first time listening to Sok Hain Rich, you don't have to subscribe. You guys, your first one's on me. But if you have watched this show before, it's like you are a freeloader now. So all I would ask you is, if you have seen this show before and you like it, help me, help my team here. Hit that subscribe and like button now. And we will continue to build this show for you. That I swear. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. That's all for me for today. I will see you soon. Bye for now.